Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. All right, party people, we're back at it. Welcome to On the Way to School. Christopher Dennis here. I hope your day, your morning, whenever you're listening, is off to a wonderful start. We're back in the mix, and I want to talk about something that maybe leaders don't spend a ton of time on, but I want to speak to it because, one, it may be helpful for me to get it out of my body, and it also may be helpful for somebody in a leadership position or someone who's on the receiving end of this kind of dynamic to just kind of help in their thoughts. I want to talk about when there's a lack of closure and something just doesn't sit well with you by the way it was resolved. There was a situation that I'm close to where, a family, a constituent group, and it's a family. I'm not going to try to be too veiled here. All right. We're all good close friends here. But there's a situation I'm close to, and there's a family that, really explained and expressed to us their concerns and how they felt about a situation. And we did the thing that we do as administrators and as an organization to try to resolve the issue and get folks kind of on the same page and hear folks out and try to move forward. And essentially there was just there was nowhere else to go. We kind of lost their trust. And, once that trust is broken with anybody, either in a business deal, with a family at a school, with a student, with a colleague, it takes a lot to repair that. And sometimes those things are beyond repair. But I ultimately believe that things can be repaired with the gift of time and consistency. But I wanted to just share a little bit about something that just didn't sit right with me and how I've had to and continue to live through that moment in its aftermath. So like I said, there was a situation with a family that, we couldn't essentially meet their needs in the window of time that they were looking for. I think ultimately we've corrected the issue, but I ran into this family a couple times since that final conversation on the issue. And, they were good partners with the school, and it just didn't, it didn't end particularly well. And usually I can handle a lack of closure, but for some reason, this one didn't sit right with me in the sense that, my goal is to always be truthful, to not let somebody leave without feeling affirmed. But you can do all of that and still not get to the finish line. And I'm in this moment where I am wanting to convey and express, how much, how much I think of these people and, their impact. And I also have to understand and acknowledge that all of that energy that I'm feeling is for me. It's not necessarily going to change their perspective. It's not necessarily going to resolve the issue. And trying to press that issue is only going to potentially expand or reopen that whole situation. And one of the things about sitting with a lack of closure and processing it is that you have to go through the feeling. You have to feel it. You have to sit in it. And there is no guarantee that you're ever going to be able to return or restore that relationship to what it was. But as a leader, I know that that's going to be one of the moments and one of the situations that will be on my short list of unforgettables. And the only thing I can do with that is to build on it, grow from it, and understand that if I don't want to be in this position again, is to figure out how I can essentially be a better leader. That's my responsibility. It is no one else's job to absolve me or to provide closure for me and how I'm feeling about an outcome. when that's the role that I raised my hand for. I signed up for those tough conversations, those hard moments in the smallest room with the biggest decisions. And I don't get to ask for someone to consider me in that way. Now, people are human and empathy is real. And there are times where you can just clear the air and reach out, but there's a time and place for that, you know. But if it's only because you're feeling away, or it's essentially because I feel it in my spirit that it's not going to be a moment that I forget. And sitting with that discomfort is going to change me as a leader. It's going to make me better, because I don't want families to have to walk away feeling unsettled. And usually when families walk away in that way, it's because their child is involved. And again, there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to resolve anything. But transparency and clarity are key. It's kind. And a slow no is brutal. If you can't get it done, people are human and they're adults. They're responsible. If you know it's not going to get done, you just need to let them know. But it's the slow no and the way you do it that can really, really be hard, you know, when you actually have to get there. So my lesson in this is that as a leader, you have to be able to sit in those tough spots. And there's no guarantee that they're going to be over quickly, but you can build on them. You can grow from them. You can learn from them. And that's something that I'm going to absolutely have to do. And organically, when I have the opportunity, you know, I'm definitely going to be able to have the conversations that need to be had, but also respect the boundaries that need to be respected, because that's what's required as well. But, you know, leadership is a lonely business at times. I've said that before, but it's important that you lead with your integrity, because it's absolutely worth it. So hopefully this is a little food for thought for you this morning, or whenever you're listening to this on the way to school. Take care, folks. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.